to say?
Start clapping and waving and cheering now!
Lea Thompson's here! Oh yes, a little actor getting a whole sofa. Welcome.
This is so exciting. I've never seen such a beautiful audience. You guys are beautiful.
Is this your first time in Brussels?
It is, I think.
They are beautiful people.
I'll say. Yes, I'm very excited to be here. I was just in France, so I got a little bit more of my kind of understanding French a little bit. So that was exciting.
This is what your trip should be, not about signing. You should just increase your French and other languages whilst you're here.
Exactly. I was a ballet dancer. That's how I started. So all ballet is in French.
Is this a real thing?
What?
Is this you learn ballet only through French people? Is this a thing?
No, every single step.
Yeah, like a plie.
Like a plie, tendu, pas de chat.
See, you do know French.
Yeah.
I never knew this.
Relevé.
We should have more questions just about ballet.
Yeah, it's all in French.
We should do a ballet class, just a half an hour, and get everyone just going.
That would be great.
Just 7 injuries.
Position, s'il vous plaît.
I'm so impressed by this. So you started out doing ballet, and then that led to acting?
Yes. Well, because I really wasn't good enough to be a good ballet dancer. So
Onto the talking stuff. Yeah.
I did the fallback. I became a movie star.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's second choice of a career, isn't it? Movie star.
Yeah.
I just think it's either, I'll run a coffee shop or I'll be a world famous movie star. One of the two.
I don't know. Kind of fell in my lap.
Yeah.
But now I'm mostly a director.
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about this.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, just to remind everyone, now and again we might not talk about stuff because of strikes and things, but whatever you're comfortable talking about, career-wise and stuff, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, hopefully the strike will end soon and we can all go back to work, but yes.
Yeah. We very much support you, so yeah, that'll be a good win. But how did you find that, going from one side of the camera to the other? Was it always something you wanted to do, direct?
Yeah, I always wanted to direct, and my husband's a director. Are there any married women here? Any married women?
Well, a few hands I know.
Well, I just said, like, if my husband can do it, then I can do it.
Oh, yeah.
So, I've always wanted to be a director, and I love science fiction, so I got to do Star Trek Picard, and Resident Alien, and a show called Stargirl.
Yeah.
And so that was fun, like fights, superhero fights.
Well, you were in Picard as well, though, weren't you?
Yeah, they made me.
But did you direct yourself?
I was supposed to, but I didn't. They switched the scene to a different show.
Sorry about that, everyone.
Who's too close? Are we too close?
Have you? No, I think it's just very sensitive speakers we've got over here. But you keep getting drawn back into sci-fi. Is that something that's always been an interest for you, or is it just somewhere that your career has led?
I've always loved sci-fi. I loved that I got to do, but I'm known for Back to the Future.
We've got some really bad feedback, so if there's any way of fixing that, that would be lovely. Yeah, we'll all just creep back. Do you feel comfortable interviewing like this?
Yes, I've always loved sci-fi. I love doing Back to the Future and Howard the Duck, and I think it's, as a director, you get to do a lot more.
Yeah.
Visually, and like I got to take Picard back in time, which was really fun, because obviously I'm an expert at time travel.
Obviously. A little bit of experience in that genre.
Exactly. It's a more open world kind of sci-fi.
Is there any sci-fi that you love that you'd love to see on screen that's not been done yet?
Oh, that's a good question. No, I think they've made all my favorite books.
Oh, really?
Into movies, yeah.
But that's one of the beautiful things about like the last 10, 15 years and all the streaming boom and everything like that, and all this, Hollywood just doing things to the nth degree because of technology. Sci-fi is probably in one of its biggest golden eras ever. Like sci-fi is having such a boom again.
I know, well also because of the technology.
Yeah.
You know, the crazy technology that they use in Mandalorian and with the big video walls.
Yeah, yeah.
That stuff is crazy. And
Have you been able to use any of those?
I haven't had a chance to. I really want to do Strange New Worlds.
So good.
Because they use all that technology, and it makes you seasick. It makes you kind of sick.
You can tell when they've used them because you can see people's eyes like
Yeah, but it's you know, like when I did the movies that I did, like I don't know if you guys ever saw Space Camp or Howard the Duck or Red Dawn, Back to the Future. They had very little special effects.
Yeah.
Visual effects. It was all special effects, meaning it was created in the moment, and so it took a lot longer. And you
Was it all practical?
almost all those movies were practical. There was a little bit of CGI in Back to the Future and in Howard the Duck, but it was very primitive, not like they can do now.
It is like, I mean, I always think Jurassic Park is the film where it really makes that leap. Yeah, I was going to say, at any point, do please get Kevin again. But yeah, it's just so sudden, like the leap in technology from like the mid-90s to like now is like, it feels like it's advanced 200 years. It's just so much.
And it's really weird when you direct it because with TV, you're not involved in the whole process. So you deliver them something, and then when you see it on TV, you get to appreciate all the artists who have created, you know, the spaceships fighting and taking out all the wires in the fight, and, you know, and taking out, when I did Picard, I had a whole character that had no legs. So it was...
So the Borg Queen.
Yeah, the Borg Queen, yeah.
How did you do that?
What?
How did they do that? Was it all green screen now? Or?
No, they
chopped off your legs.
They chopped off her legs.
Yeah. We went very practical on that one.
Yeah, no, it's a miracle. Someone tells you what you can and cannot do, with the camera, and then they come in and they shoot it with nobody in it, and then they take your legs out. It's crazy.
It is. How does that inform your work as like a director though? How do you just have to piece that together in your own mind and then trust the process, or do you have to approach something with special effects differently to say you would just directing actors?
Yeah, no, you have to think about it all the time because it's so expensive. So they only give you a couple of shots. They give you a list of how many shots you can use special effects or visual effects. I should know that, but yeah, because it's very expensive. So you have to be very clever.
Oh wow! How involved are you in that process versus like, do you have to have a sort of different way of sitting down with execs and script writers and really go for it from the ground up?
Yeah.
Did you have to fight for anything?
You do have to fight. And sometimes they'll say you can have 5 shots, so you give them 5 shots, and then they come in and they put in 8.
Yeah.
And you're like, thanks guys. But anyway, there's so many beautiful artists that are involved in making a movie or a TV show that you guys don't ever get to see. And it's such a joy to be able to work with them, all creating something beautiful. And I feel that same way as an actress. I love working, it's this many people.
Yeah, it's a team.
All of you guys would be a crew on a movie. And each person's job is super important. And it's so fun.
Yeah.
So what's a best boy do?
A best boy is kind of between a grip and an electrician.
Great. Good.
He holds the electricity.
Yeah, holds the electricity. Yeah.
Yes, you go up to him and you go, you're our best boy. It's kind of like
I feel like the best boy should always be a dog.
I know, I agree.
Yeah.
I know, it's a funny thing.
Did you find that going from acting into directing gives you an advantage in directing that perhaps other directors who haven't acted have found, or a disadvantage?
I think it's an advantage because actors trust you because they know you know what they're going through.
Yeah.
And actresses trust me. I'm like, I'm not gonna make you look bad. You know, same with men. I mean, actors are pretty vain. Shh. But anyway, they trust you when you know the process that they're going through. And each actor is different. Each actor has a different process, which can be really frightening to people who don't understand that.
Yeah. Did you have a process?
Depending on the movie, yes. But like, for instance, in Back to the Future, the movie I'm most known for, I worked really hard on that character. I found the script and I'd spent a lot of time listening to the music from the 50s, and everything in my purse was like, the lipstick was from the 50s, the coins were from the 50s, I found Kleenex in the little thing and my compacts, and I would listen to music before, almost every take I would listen to Mr. Sandman.
Yeah.
Because it was so stupid.
That's actually really, yeah, satisfying to hear.
But it kind of puts you in that
Yeah,
mood.
it's exactly like era, isn't it? It's just so. But
It's a real immersive experience. It's really nice. Did you find that you had that for the subsequent films, or was that more just for the first one?
I think when the part's harder to get into or harder to understand, I would do more work. A lot of work that I do is, kind of close to me. I have a new show. I believe it's gonna either start playing in France or it already is. It's called The Spencer Sisters, and it's these pants are the ones that I wear in the poster. Just FYI, I stole them.
Actually, can I jump in? Is there anything that you've kept from a set, from anything, that is like a prized possession?
these pants, look at them.
Yes,
I know, that's why I'm happy to say it.
I know, the pants. I have the pink dress from Back to the Future.
What?
Oh.
I bet that is worth a fortune.
Well, what was weird was they made 3 of them for the first movie,
Oh, really?
and they never thought that they were going to make a sequel. They never even thought about it.
Yeah.
So when they went to make the sequel, they couldn't find the dress, and I was the only one that had it. So I was like, I'll rent it back to you.
I love that. It's a beautiful prom dress.
Yeah.
I think that was one that I remember thinking one day I want to wear a dress like that.
It was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, really?
My mom came to visit me when I was shooting the prom.
Yeah.
And, for those of you who don't know, shooting takes a very long time. A scene could take all day, or 3 days, or 5 days, especially in a giant movie like that. So there's a lot of time between the camera setups. So I would just take off my dress and walk around in my bustier and my crinoline in front of all the people, all the extras, and my mom was like, "You're in your underwear. What's wrong with you?"
It's fine.
Hey,
It's fine. It was Madonna. It looked like Madonna.
Yeah, exactly.
Just going back to your character, like with Back to the Future, it's a strange one because you, essentially, when you get a character, normally you play a section of their life. But I guess you have to invent an entire life for that character. So when they're at one age, when they're another, and then reinvent them when there's a separate timeline. Was that really fun to sort of figure out, or was that quite a challenge?
It was really fun. It was a great part.
It's amazing.
It
And
was
you
a
absolutely
great-
smashed it.
It was a
Yeah.
great part. And I'm so happy to have had a few great parts in my life. I think like 4. And that's definitely one of them. And it's a joy that I'm here in Belgique. And you guys like the movie, and that makes me so happy. And a lot of you weren't even born when it was made, so that even makes me happier.
I mean, it has, no pun intended, stood the test of time, like very few films. Did you, when you were shooting that film, could you have imagined all this ahead of you?
No, and it seems to have a life, and then more of a life, and more of a life. I knew it was Steven Spielberg, and the script was brilliant. It's script was
Everyone says this, yeah.
the script was brilliant, and so I think there's something. What's brilliant about the movie is there's something you can take from it at different ages. You know, if you're a kid, you're like, oh, there's poop that falls on the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, and then if you're a little bit older, you can be like, wow, you know, one good decision could change my life and my family's life. And then if you're a little bit older, you can say to your kids, see, I was like you once.
Yeah.
So there's so many different things you can take from it.
I still remember the first time that I watched it in reverse order and then picked up on things that I realized little Easter eggs from other films. And I was just like, and it blew my mind. I didn't know film could do that until that moment.
Well, most people are so lazy when they make movies. Things don't pay off. But Bob Zemeckis, he set up a joke when I say, your Uncle Joey didn't make parole in the beginning, and I throw down the cake. And it's like 35 minutes later, or 40 minutes later, when Michael Fox sees the baby in the playpen. And he says, get used to those bars, kid.
So good.
So you set up a joke, you tell the punchline 40 minutes later, that means you've made a movie that people know it's important to pay attention to every detail. And most movies are sloppy, they're not like that.
But again, it's such a crafted film, and it is rare to get something that well made that, like say, stands the test of time. So yeah, it's just amazing. Becca's signaling we are going to throw out questions because there's a lot of you. So if you have a question for Lea, please get your hand up. We'll get us around as many as possible. Thomas is somewhere with the mic. He's coming over, so while he does that, can you, just while we get to them, can you remember the moment though when you went from acting and you suddenly thought, I want to direct something? Did you have that moment, or was that a gradual thing?
I think it was when I was making Back to the Future, because I could see what a great director Bob Zemeckis was, and I could understand what he was doing, and I loved the way he was crafting a story, and to me that got really exciting to me.
That's great. I love that when someone you admire informs your entire life. I really love that. It's amazing. Okay, first question, please.
Hello, I just wanted to know the pressure that you are under when working on a scene with Michael. Like, can you just explain how that must have felt for you? Because you were like the same age and he's attractive and it's like, you know.
Well, that was all complicated by the fact that Michael replaced my friend Eric Stoltz in the movie. So, and Michael was a TV star, and at that point, it was a very big delineation between movie stars and TV stars. And TV stars were here, and movie stars were here. So I was really snobby with Michael because he replaced my friend and he was a TV star. But it didn't take me long to realize why he was so great. I believe the first scene we did was the scene in the bedroom, and I had already shot that with Eric Stoltz. And it was a completely different scene. It was like weird and kind of creepy and a little bit scary. And then with Michael, it just took on this he gave me so much more room to be so much more flirtatious because he was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so I could like put this pressure on him, and he, you know, and I realized he was a massive star, even though it was TV. Oh my God. But he has a very specific type of comedy that he did in Back to the Future. You know, he would do this. You know what I mean? He knew how to like.
It's very clownish.
Very physical and very precise, almost like the old Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin. He really studied every single movement, every slide across the DeLorean, every kick of the skateboard. And I'd be like, what are you doing? But it was just a different way of approaching comedy that is French, but it's not American anymore. They don't don't teach actors how to do physical comedy.
It's clowning, isn't
Clowning,
it? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And spit takes and double takes.
Yeah. I mean, the spit take is one of the best spit takes of all time. And it's great. It's great. Yeah, we got a next question. Thank you for your first one.
Hello. You mentioned TV, and I would like to talk about Caroline in the City. It is one of my favorite sitcoms all the time, and I have two questions. First question would be, do you have anything in common with the main character, Caroline Murphy? And the second question would be, I know that you're married, but could you imagine for yourself to date a guy like Richard Karinsky?
Oh, that's so nice of you. I didn't know that Caroline in the City was here. I love doing a sitcom. It was so scary and dangerous, and because it's in front of a live audience, and you have very little time to learn all your lines, and the writers get very intense about the setup and the joke. If you mess the setup and you ruin the joke, they've been working so hard on that. There's a lot of pressure. So it was really scary and fun. But I did 100 episodes of Caroline, and I loved Richard Karinsky's character. That was such a great character, and I thought we should end up together, but they didn't do it that way. And Malcolm Getz is his name, and we are all still friends. All of us from Caroline in the City are still best friends. I'm still best friends with Amy, who played Annie. She lives right down the street, and we see each other all the time.
She always used to come to your fridge.
Yeah.
Take something for breakfast.
But the fact that she was in Cats was so funny. My roommate was in Cats, which was hilarious to me. Thank you for asking me about that.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Did it give you a newfound respect for TV? Did it give you a newfound respect for TV actors? Having to do it again?
Yes, I did. After I became a TV actor, I had way more respect for exactly sitcoms. Very hard. I remember people would come to guest star on Caroline in the City, and they'd never done it before, and they would throw up.
Wow.
They'd take a garbage can and throw up because they were so scared. It's really scary.
Yeah, it's a lot. Again, comedy as well is that extra pressure of say delivering and stuff. But yeah.
Death is easy, comedy's hard.
yeah. We got a question down here.
Hello. First of all, before the question, welcome under the grey sky of the country. And, sorry for that.
Still beautiful.
From the point of view of your personality, you should say that you're far close of your character, Lorraine.
Lorraine?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I think I'm pretty far away from her. Yeah, I was really far away from her at the time. Because I was like an 80s girl, so to be,
You're the new Madonna outfit and everything.
yeah.
but it helps to be a ballet dancer because you can take the posture of someone in a different time. And I think I was really different than her, but I understood the Lorraine, the broken down Lorraine, the one that had her heart broken, the older Lorraine. I really understood her for some reason. And so that's how I got the part, because I could play that.
Yeah. Is there a character that you feel like is the most you that you've played, or have they all been very different from you?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't have to, don't worry.
I mean, that some movies that no one has seen here, maybe that felt like me. But generally, I put so much of myself, but different parts of myself.
Yeah, like a professional actor. Yeah, we got more questions, I assume. Who's got the microphone? There, Thomas. Oh, yeah.
Hello. I'm very happy to see you again because the last weekend I met you in Paris, and my question my question is, what is your favorite, best memory for filming on Back to the Future, and when did you notice that this film is fulfilling?
My best memory of shooting Back to the Future, there's so many memories, but my favorite thing was really when Bob Zemeckis, the director, would get super happy. And there were certain times that I had to do things that the plot demanded, that, like when I fall in love with George, and when I fall out of love with Marty, when he kisses me and I fall out of love with him, like, he was so worried because I had to convince the audience of this giant plot change with just a look, you know? And so when I made him happy, I'm so codependent. When I made him happy, or when I made him laugh, and I saw that he was delighted by the work, those are my favorite memories. Of course, there's so much work and hours and pain and discomfort, but that's what I really remember the most. And then he asked me another question.
Yeah, just
When did you
When did I know? I remember my boyfriend at the time was an actor named Dennis Quaid, and we went to this movie theater, and the movie had been out for like 2 months. And we went to this big movie theater, and we pulled up. I was like, let's go see the movie. And when we pulled up, and the parking lot was full, and the parking attendant went, and he like let me in free, and there were no seats, and we stood in the back, and we watched Back to the Future with the audience, and they were just like, you know, like when George punches Biff, they were just like, and it just felt, I was like, wow, you know, because that's what we're trying to do, is help you guys feel something. And as actors in film and TV, we don't get to see that reaction.
Yeah.
Because it's something we did months and months ago or years ago, and it was just a very special moment, and I knew that it was a really great movie, and I was so lucky and grateful.
What
That's a great
a beautiful
answer.
answer.
Yeah.
We've got one more question here. I knew Thomas couldn't get to you, but then we're going to let you go back to the convention because you are busy.
Hello, and welcome to Belgium.
Thank you.
I actually first saw you in Space Camp, and since you mentioned it, that you like science fiction, because it really spoke to my imagination as a child. Were you always drawn to, you know, roles that were kind of fantastic or kind of had to do with space, or, you know, also things like Howard the Duck? Is that something you chose, or did you kind of end up there?
Well, I have a weird sense of humor, obviously, which was why when I read Back to the Future, I was like, yeah, I'm down with hitting on my son. And then when I read Howard the Duck, I'm like, yeah, I'm down with making out with a duck.
We're seeing why you pick your roles now, yeah?
Yeah. I want that on a t-shirt.
That's a good
I'm
idea.
down with making out with a duck.
Exactly. I've always had a little off-kilter sense of humor, but Space Camp just felt like a different kind of movie to do. I love the space program. I loved all of that, and I also was like, maybe I should do a serious movie where I'm very serious.
Is that your serious accent as well?
Yeah, I was serious. And I was smart, you know?
I got it straight away.
Yes, that's my serious voice.
Yeah, I like it.
Here's my dumb voice. And I got it, totally. Yeah, I've just been drawn to different kinds of parts. When you do one part for a long time, you want to shake it off and do something different. And so I just chose parts like that. But a lot of people have been inspired to be, young women were inspired to become scientists by that movie, which really made me happy, because that wasn't the case then. Women weren't so much into science and stuff like that. So that made me happy to inspire that.
Amazing. And what an answer to end on, because I think you can see very much. You've inspired a lot of people over your career and continue to do so, and we are very, very happy you came and talked to us. So this has been lovely. Guys, you know what to do.
Super grateful. Thank you all for coming out. We're going to take pictures with the DeLorean.
Yeah, we do actually, good time, we always get a picture with the guests on stage with everyone behind us if you're good for that. So you know what to do, everyone.
Sorry, I got to turn my butt to you.
So,
Check
yeah.
out those free pants.
Oh yeah, go crazy behind us now! Once again, Lea Thompson, everyone! She's here all weekend, please go and see her. Compliment her pants, everything you need to do. We will be back on the hour with Jack Gleason from Game of Thrones. Please come back from that, but you were amazing.